Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a harder battle. Only the dead have seen the end of war. Love is a serious mental disease. The measure of a man is what he does with power. Ignorance, the root and stem of every evil. I'm trying to think, don't confuse me with facts. If women are expected to do the same work as men, we must teach them the same things. Those who tell the stories rule society. Human behavior flows from three main sources: desire, emotion, and knowledge. The madness of love is the greatest of heaven's blessings. Education is teaching our children to desire the right things. Courage is knowing what not to fear. There are three classes of men: lovers of wisdom, lovers of honor, and lovers of gain. There are two things a person should never be angry at: what they can help and what they cannot. When men speak ill of thee, live so as nobody may believe them. The beginning is the most important part of the work. The object of education is to teach us to love what is beautiful. Those who are able to see beyond the shadows and lies of their culture will never be understood, let alone believed, by the masses. How can you prove whether at this moment we are sleeping and all our thoughts are a dream, or whether we are awake and talking to one another in the waking state? Love is simply the name for the desire and pursuit of the whole. An empty vessel makes the loudest sound, so they that have the least wit are the greatest babblers. No man should bring children into the world who is unwilling to persevere to the end in their nature and education. Musical innovation is full of danger to the state, for when modes of music change, the fundamental laws of the state always change with them. You're my star, a stargazer too, and I wish that I were heaven, with a billion eyes to look at you. People are like dirt. They can either nourish you and help you grow as a person, or they can stunt your growth and make you wilt and die. There is in every one of us, even those who seem to be most moderate, a type of desire that is terrible, wild, and lawless. Good actions give strength to ourselves and inspire good actions in others. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. I would teach children music, physics, and philosophy, but most importantly music, for the patterns in music and all the arts are the keys to learning. For this feeling of wonder shows that you are a philosopher, since wonder is the only beginning of philosophy. Poets utter great and wise things, which they do not themselves understand. Have you ever sensed that our soul is immortal and never dies? Any man may easily do harm, but not every man can do good to another. Love is the name for our pursuit of wholeness, for our desire to be complete. How could they see anything but the shadows if they were never allowed to move their heads? The soul takes flight to the world that is invisible, but there arriving she is sure of bliss, and forever dwells in paradise. Either we shall find what it is we are seeking, or at least we shall free ourselves from the persuasion that we know what we do not know. The price of apathy towards public affairs is to be ruled by evil men. The difficulty, my friends, is not in avoiding death, but in avoiding unrighteousness, for that runs faster than death. Excess of liberty, whether it lies in state or individuals, seems only to pass into excess of slavery. Musical training is a more potent instrument than any other, because rhythm and harmony find their way into the inward places of the soul. The direction in which education starts a man will determine his future life. Money makers are tiresome company, as they have no standard but cash value. Come then, and let us pass a leisure hour in storytelling, and our story shall be the education of our heroes. Lack of activity destroys the good condition of every human being. Those who don't know must learn from those who do. In order for man to succeed in life, God provided him with two means: education and physical activity, not separately, one for the soul and the other for the body, but for the two together. With these means, man can attain perfection. The most effective kind of education is that a child should play amongst lovely things. Is there a perfect world? The unexamined life is not worth living.